Alright guys, welcome back. So now we are going to continue with the Megaman X stream. So we just did Megaman X2, so now we are starting on Megaman X3, which we will be running through for pretty much the rest of the night. Uh, so let's go ahead and get that booted up. Now we're only going to be doing the first few stages before I call it a night. So we'll just play through the opening intro. Now, this one is definitely a lot more plot-heavy than the first two. In fact, the Doppler stages completely change depending on certain actions you take and whether or not you defeat certain bosses or not using their weaknesses when you fight them. Also, unlike the first two X games, this one does not have a Street Fighter cameo in it. So there is no Shoryuken or Hadouken in this one. But there is a special bonus item if you go for the 100% completion, which we will be obtaining in this. There's also two different endings, depending on whether or not you obtain a certain other item. As we will be going for the best ending, we will not be obtaining that item. Though, when we get to that point, I will tell you what it is. If you've played Megaman X3 before, you probably already know it. Don't spoil it. Well, I'm not going to stop you, but I'll appreciate it if you didn't. Alright. So, we're going to get ready to start up Megaman X3. Now, this one wasn't really as good as Mega Man X2 or X1, because the bosses were really predictable. They were not very smart. So, not a lot. I mean, it was pretty easy to beat them all, especially once you had their weapon, because with the exception of the endgame bosses, if you have the weapon for the boss in question, they have such a simple pattern that it makes flame stack from X2 work hard. That's how bad it is. Alright, so once again, we are back at normal X with no armor. We still have the dash, we still have the level 2 charge shot, but not the level 3. And we're not actually going to be able to get the level 3 until much later in the game. Now, this one actually also emphasized the exploration elements of the game a lot more than, or so much how X2 did. in that you pretty much need to revisit every stage at least once if you plan on getting everything. Some stages you have to revisit twice. Oh no, Max a traitor! No, with a name like that, are you really surprised? And in an interesting change of pace, suddenly we can play as Zero. Now, Zero is different from X in that he has max health automatically, he cannot pick up any upgrades, and he has a triple charge right off the bat, which is basically the Zero Saber. But unlike in X2, it's close range only. Now also, Zero, unlike X, Zero only has 1 life and cannot pick up more. So if you lose Zero's 1 life, you lose access to Zero. Also, he does not have an air dash, he only has a normal dash jump. And Mac dies really easy. Actually, just about everything dies to the Z-Saber. But the thing of it is, Zero can only be called once per level, and he also cannot fight bosses or mini-bosses. So pretty much once you come up to a boss gate, Zero has to port out, and X takes over. And now we come to the, as is X-Series tradition, we have the oversized giant boss, who tears up the arena, and dies to a bunch of charge shots. Yay! Alright, so we have gotten, so now that we're done, we'll go to the first stage. We're going to go against Blizzard Buffalo. He is pretty much the easiest of the Mavericks, and his stage also contains the leg part upgrade for the armor. Now, the interesting thing is there are 24 upgrades, 3 per stage. Every stage has a heart tank. Every stage has a Dr. Light capsule, but 4 of the stages have Dr. Light capsules that give armor upgrade. The other 4 have Dr. Light capsules that give chip upgrades, which basically give you a super version of the appropriate armor piece. And then, if a stage has an armor upgrade, or has a normal armor upgrade, then it also has a sub-tank in it. If a stage has a chip upgrade, then it has a ride armor in it. Now, in order to be able to use the ride armors, you actually have to unlock the first one, the Chimera armor, which you get in, if I remember correctly, I believe it was Tunnel Rhino stage. Also, every stage has one of these little mini-boss gates, and a mini-boss, where later in the game you may or may not face one of 2 bosses. and some stages also have additional mini-bosses beyond just that one. Also, 3 stages have this little subsection here where there will be a teleporter once a certain mini-boss has become active, whether or not the stage is actually still inhabited by its original maverick. Whereas the special 2 of the mini-bosses will only appear if the stage, similar to the X-Hunters, where only if the stage is still inhabited by a maverick. But the 3rd special mini-boss will actually show up as long as you're in one of his 3 stages. Now we're going to go and get the leg upgrade. Oh, yeah. Yay, got it on the first try. That never happens. Yep, straight up dash. Not as useful as it sounds, however. Now, the leg chip upgrade lets you air dash twice, which is actually quite useful. There we go. So we've got 1 sub-tank. We don't have the hard tank for here, but we can't get the hard tank until we either get a ride armor or tunnel runner's weapon, so that's okay. Alright, let's go fight the boss. Well, first we're going to go and die to the boss because we have 2 health and no sub-tanks. Well, we might not die, because Blizzard Buffalo is actually really easy, and there's a flaw in his AI, apparently, where if he's about to charge you and you jump, he actually turns around, or something. I'm not sure exactly. Okay, let's try this again, but this time with full health. Oh, and you pretty much need the air dash in order to be able to fight Blizzard Buffalo. It's possible without it, but it's very difficult. Okay, that didn't work. Wow. I don't even know how he grabbed me because I was nowhere near him, but okay. That's fine. Alright. Let's try this again. You don't want to get hit by that, because I believe it freezes you. I don't remember, because it's been pretty much forever since I've actually ever been hit by it. Alright, that's 1 maverick down. And now, unlike in X1 and X2, the picture of X that shows up is always unarmored X. However, the weapon demonstration shows whatever armor pieces you currently have equipped. Alright, so at this point we're getting a little close to cutoff time, so I'm just going to call it a night today. So join me on Thursday when I come back to finish streaming Megaman X3. But we'll see you till then. Have a great night, people.